La 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 la.
Preparing to live stream. All right, it's going in. Okay. Let me just.
Me. Fa la 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 la. Like if I'm gonna sing or something.
You got me crying over here.
I'm so silly.
All right, here we are.
I could never be a smoker because the smoke bothers me.
Okay, I'm just making. Got it. All right, it says we're live, so.
Hello.
Okay, yeah, we're in.
we in.
We're in. Hello, everybody. We're live
Good
today.
evening.
Good evening.
Welcome to my layer of humiliation and disaster.
You sound like Vampira. Remember Vampira? Welcome to my dark domain. We gotta do something funny like that, like something cool like that for like Halloween. You gotta do something really dark and macabre. Yeah.
Dress up.
I'm just sharing it.
Show our Sasha Fierce side.
Right. Right, exactly. So today we decided to go live and talk about the Lionsgate. Today is 8/8, August 8th. And I'm sure many of you have seen things circulating around about this infamous Lionsgate and all that it has to offer us for, okay, I'm just pulling up the chat here, so.
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, so we're here to talk about the Lionsgate and what it's about. So honestly, I found out about this a few years ago when I got really into like numerology, right? So, and I found out that there's certain dates, you know, like 7/7 or 8/8, but for some reason, the Lionsgate is one that, you know, the community tends to make a big deal out of.
Right.
And I guess it's because it's a really powerful day of manifestation. You know, that's the whole theme, because 8 itself is like the number of infinite abundance. So that's why they kind of like correlate it with it being a big day of manifestation because of the 8, you know, or the infinity.
Yeah, right. The infinity sign.
But one thing that I found out in my research on numerology about the 8, you know, you ever heard the term crazy 8s?
Yes.
Crazy 8, right?
Yes.
So the thing about it in numerology, because it's the infinity and it constantly goes back and forth, you also get the crazy 8, which is extreme highs and lows.
Like a bipolar effect.
Yeah.
Basically.
But as far as like abundance wise, like you could, with an 8, especially if your life path number is an 8, these are people who tend to reach the heights of success.
Yes.
But then fall just as quickly.
Right. And hard.
Right.
Hard.
So a prime example is Martha Stewart.
Yes. That's a perfect example, actually.
She's a life path 8.
That makes sense.
Yeah, right? It really does. So she's a life path 8, right? And you already know, like Martha Stewart, in like the late 90s, she had her show. She was like the height of her career.
Yeah.
She made that one little mistake.
And it's forever, it's been a stain on her.
And she ended up in Club Fed, but guess what? Now she's back in the game and she's richer than she was the first time around.
Yeah.
Well, she's got a show. Yeah. Yeah, she served time. I think she served what, like 2.5 years, something like that? Yeah. Almost 2 years. I don't think she served a full time, but she was in federal prison. And then
enough to have Snoop Dogg on her belt.
Right. They have the show now. So see, now it's the show that she's doing with him on VH1, right? And then she has then she's doing like mad endorsements now. Like she does the endorsement for Pretty Litter, which I love, by the way. Not that I'm, endorsing it myself here. I'm just saying that I use it. I love it. It's the best thing since sliced bread. It's a great kitty litter. It doesn't smell. It's clean. It's awesome. So she does like the commercials and the endorsements for Pretty Litter. And, she must be making buku off of that alone.
Right.
So my point is that the one thing, as per numerology, when it comes to the 8 is to understand that there's always going to be the spinning of that wheel of the 8 going back and forth. So these people may reach the heights of success, but fall, like I said, not right. So you got what I'm saying. And it's crazy to me because Martha Stewart was locked up. Her reputation was completely tarnished because of it, but now she's back in the game and she's richer than she was before.
Right.
So this is kind of the miraculous nature of the 8.
Mm-hmm.
And with that being said, everybody's like, this is a good day and this is a positive day of manifestation, which it is. Yes. But again, as I always do, I give the good and the bad and the ugly of things. And that's the bad of it. You have to be mindful because if you get too complacent with your success as an 8, you will experience that fall.
I see it as one of those genie requests. Like if the 8 was a genie in a bottle,
mm-hmm.
and you made a wish, I want to be the richest person in the world, and the genie grants your wish, you become the richest person in the world, but you didn't say in which world, so you might as well be rich on planet Mars or something, or on Venus, because that's where he did. Granted you your wish, but since you didn't say where, you're sitting somewhere else, in another world and shit. So it's kind of like that. It's one of those, be careful what you wish for kind of thing.
Right. And that's the thing, because you have the potential to reach the highest heights,
mm-hmm.
financially, successfully.
Yeah.
But one false move and that's it.
Right. Yeah. So that's why you have to be very careful, especially when you're manifesting on a day like today. So for those who don't know, today is a wonderful day to manifest your deepest desires, your goals, your dreams, whatever it may be. Today is a beautiful day to do that because everything is aligned for it. So there's enough potential for you to be able to see what you're manifesting come through, because today's one of those days for it. So for those of you who don't know, who may be watching right now, since we're live, anything else you want to add, my dear?
Yeah, so we covered that whole thing. And also for those that are born this month in August, people that have strong Leo, or even people who are having a personal year, because in numerology, you get a personal year, and how you determine that is the birth month, the birthday, and the present year, right? So this year is 2022. It's a 4-year, right? So you're adding 4 to your birthday and your birth month and your birthday, excuse me. Okay. So let's say, for instance, you're having a personal year of 8, right?
Right.
Right now, this is going to be a pivotal time for you. And this is especially for those who are compatible with the 8. 2 is the personal year 2, or the personal life path 2 or 11, 4, 22 or 4, and the 8s, they go together, 2, 4, and 8, right? So if you have a life path of 2, 4, and 8, this is going to be a very pivotal day for you. This is kind of going to be that moment where things come full circle. Okay. I feel like basically this is when you're going to really get that opportunity, and that also at the same time, I feel like it's a reality check, right? So if you have been trying to manifest something since like the beginning of the year and it hasn't really come about, today is when you're going to have that aha moment and realize why it's not showing up till now.
Right.
Or it's just, it's just gonna, kind of show up.
Right.
So for 2s, if you have a life path 2, or you're having a personal year of 2, this is gonna be about relationships for you. Okay, this is about, if you've been single, this is gonna be about the person showing up in your life. The person you've been waiting for, the person you've been picturing or trying to manifest is going to show up around this time now. Okay. The opportunity from here on in will present itself from now until the end of the year. So that's for 2 people. Again, 2 and 11 life paths, or people who are having personal year of 2. Okay.
And real quick, for those who don't know, they might ask, how do I know what my life path number is? So you have to do the math.
Mm-hmm.
It's your date of birth. It's going to be the month, the day, and the year added, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And then
exactly.
you're gonna get you definitely gonna get your number through there. But I think I'm missing a step. I know you have to add the month, the day, and the year.
Yeah, and then if it's double, it's more than likely going to be a double digit.
Right.
And then you break it down to a single number. Like, let's say, like if your birthday breaks down to a 33, right? 3 plus 3 is 6. So your life path is 6, but it's also a master number because 11, 22, and 33 are master numbers. But that'll be a whole nother episode where we'll talk about numerology in depth. But to put it simply, if you're having trouble with the numbers, you could just Google a life path calculator, a life path number calculator, and it'll do it for you. So you can do that. And then once you know your life path number, it's good to know your compatibility. So let's say, again, like I said, the compatible life paths with the 8 right now is the 2 and the 4. Okay. Those are actually the natural numbers, that they're part of the same bracket. Compatible numbers are 3, 6, and 9. So if you have a life path of 3, 6, or 9, this is a compatible energy for you too. People who have a life path of 1, 5, or 7, not so much.
Oh, damn.
Okay. This is going to be a bit of a issue there. But yeah, we were talking about the 2s, right? So let's get back to that. But again, guys, if you want to determine the numbers, like Brenda said, you just break everything down, your birth month, year, day, and year to a single number. You add it all together. If not, just Google a calculator. So that's how you'll learn how to do it. All right. Okay. So we discussed the 2. 4s is going to be probably career, work, or learning some new aspects of work. All right. So this is going to be opportunity for work for you. So, or opportunity for abundance through your work. And it's also about learning. It's also about lessons or teaching. So some of you may become teachers or instructors or trainers of other people during this time, or get an offer to do that, or be promoted into doing that. Teaching is going to be a very important aspect for 4s right now. You will just simply be called by source to teach others your skills and what you've learned. Okay.
Interesting
and then again,
enough, that sounds kind of like with astrology. You know how you have the fourth house, fifth house, sixth house, and it sounds just like that. How you broke it down from, you know, number 4 being career and whatever, and then in astrology it's not number 4, but you know, it's just similar to that aspect. You know how it breaks down.
It is a similar energy. Oh, absolutely. That's why numbers are so important, because they're determined in everything. In astrology, they're determined, like you and I read tarot cards. There's numbers in the tarot. Learning numerology is a crucial part of spirituality because it's everywhere. That's why when all of us see, you know, the synchronicities, like 111 or 444 or 888, like today, the numbers is something that is very much ingrained in the spiritual path.
Right.
And learning about it in depth is very important. You know what I mean? Right. Because numbers carry vibrations.
Right.
And today is another reason why today is so powerful, is because it holds a vibration for the entire collective consciousness, for everybody. 88 is emanating its vibration throughout the entire world today, because that's the date. So with that being said, it's that 8 energy for everyone. And like I said, it's wise to know your numbers so that you can know if it's compatible energy or not. Right?
Right.
So we talked about the numbers that are a natural match, which are the 2 and the 4. So this is going to be a good time for 2s, 4s, and 8s. Okay, for the 8 people, this is going to be a huge life-changing blessing for them, an energetic upgrade, a definite raise in consciousness for natural life path 8s, or people having a 8 personal year. So this is going to be a wonderful time. So we talked about that. Now let's talk about the opposite, the people that are opposing this energy. Like I said, it's the life path 1, 5, and 7. Okay. So if you're a life path 1, or you're having a personal year of 1 right now, then this is going to be struggles with your identity, struggles with your purpose in life. You're going to feel really lost, and you might totally change your path on a dime. Or you just may feel out of place with you know, with the world, with society, with, you know, your peers and the people around you. There may be a real feeling of alienation for ones right now. So what is recommended is definitely, like, you know, look into where exactly you are. And if certain things are changing within yourself, go with it. Because you know how many times we find that we're changing and it can be uncomfortable because you don't feel the same way about people, places, or things anymore. And you're like, wait a minute, what the hell do I do now, kind of thing.
But that's okay.
Yeah, exactly. That's what you have to tell yourself, that it's okay. You're changing, and that's fine. People may not understand it, but that's okay. They don't need to understand.
Don't need to, exactly. Because when you're changing for a better you, not for you, for a better you. You know,
right.
it's like a butterfly. You know, once the butterfly gets out of that cocoon, it's gonna have its spots, its colors, and its beauty. But it had to isolate itself for a period of time to get to become a butterfly.
Exactly.
But it only makes sense that you would have to isolate yourself to become the person that you're supposed to be during that isolation period. It only makes sense.
Right.
So
yeah. And that,
good.
And and that's the thing. So be gentle with yourself right now, one, because you're trying to roll with the changes that are happening within yourself, and you might overthink because, again, the 1s, the 5s, and the 7s are cerebral signs. They're very mental. They tend to overthink. So that this may be a struggle with you right now. But like I said, allow the changes to occur. Remind yourself that it's okay that you're changing, you're evolving, and you may outgrow certain people, places, or things, but that's life,
Yeah.
It is what it is.
You're damn it, you're number one. You have to be number one. So you have to
Right.
Come on now.
That's exactly what it is. If you're a one life path, or you're having a personal year of one, it's a focus on the self.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people who are a life path one get a lot of shit because they're known to be self-involved or self-important at times because they make themselves a priority. A good example of a one life path is Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise is a one life path. And
he's isolated himself from everybody, even though I don't agree with the choice he made with the religion he's in. But anyway,
with the Scientology, right? But
he's still on top because he made the remake of the Top Gun movie, and I was one of those people that went to go see it.
It was so good.
It was
amazing.
It's phenomenal. It's the best. That movie's always going to be, without him, there is no Top Gun. Put it that way.
I mean, honestly speaking, I felt like the sequel was even better than the first movie.
Oh yeah,
like,
of course.
It was that good. And I remember my boyfriend had never seen the original. Mm-hmm. So I made him sit down and watch the original plus he wanted to see it anyway, because he didn't want to watch the movie and not know what the hell's going on. Right. So we watched it and he was like, oh, okay, the first movie was okay, because he watched it with me. And then when we went to see it in the movie theater, he was like, shit, this movie was awesome. It's better than the first. I was like, yo, I said this, I feel the same way. But yeah, so with that being said, he's a life path one, Tom Cruise, and he's always known what to do, what serves him best.
And he's been criticized for it.
Right. And he has, but he's on
top.
He's had one of the most successful acting careers to date.
Yeah.
And did you see before the movie, they did a little interview with him, and there's a little introduction, and he said he waited to release it. Remember? He was supposed to release it, I think, in 2021, and he said, no, I want to release it for 2022. I want to wait. And he waited, and it was a smart move. Why? Because it's still the number one movie right now.
It is.
It's still one of the top, in the top 5 for sure.
Yeah.
But you see how he just has this knowledge. So with one life path, that's an example, guys. You have to stay that course of really understanding what's best for you. And at this time, you're changing, you're evolving, and you have to allow that process.
Yeah.
Not resist it, but allow it. Okay. So that's for the one life paths. So for the fives are always a hot mess.
You guys are clowns.
All right. The 5 life paths are always chaos and drama and just batshit craziness 24/7. However, you guys are the most fun out of all the life path numbers. 5s are the most fun and the most creative. Okay. We get fashion designers. We get people that have changed the world, with their creativity. You remember Bob Mackie, the fashion designer that made all those beautiful exotic ball gowns for Cher in the Sonny and Cher show. Bob Mackie is a life path 5.
That explains it.
Yeah. So we get a lot of innovative, people that just are very creative, very fun, but also very dramatic, very out there.
It's that 5s are eccentric. They're eccentric.
It's more changeable. They're to give you an example, Brenda, they're like the Geminis of numerology. They're very changeable.
They're the bitches of numerology. They're the bitches of numerology.
5s need to shake things up at all times. They get bored. They get bored very easily.
Yes.
I'm not sure if my sister's watching, but my sister's a 5, and she could attest to this.
Really?
They need variety in their lives. They need things to be shaken up.
Right.
They need things to be fun, creative, and new and
Right.
fresh.
Right.
Things have to be new and fresh for them at all times. So, so that's something that's really important. So I feel like for you guys, there may be some excessive need to really try to shake things up. So there might be extremes for you guys right now with this Lion's Gate. I feel 5s might find themselves going into extremes with things. So be careful, guys, with, excessive behavior, drinking too much, eating too much, partying too much, everything in excess, just, that may occur for you guys. So just be very mindful of not falling into that, trap of just excessive, extreme behaviors. This energy may feel very good and very, like I said, very abundant and like anything is possible. But I feel like with 5s, y'all might not know your limits at this time, and it will get you into trouble. So you're going to need somebody that's really going to help you ground and help keep you out of trouble right now, 5s. Okay. And this I find really interesting because my boyfriend is a 5, but he doesn't really fit the quintessential 5. He's kind of the polar opposite, which is funny. But there might be other numbers in there that kind of keep him grounded, which is good. So it might be his birthday because his birthday is the 6th. So I think it's the 6th of his birthday that kind of grounds him. So, but yeah, 5s, just try to tone it down, 5s. It's going to be very hard, but you guys need to kind of tone it down because you will be very impulsive at this time. Be careful with your money spending too. You might find yourself spending more money than you should at this time as well, or having financial issues and money just sort of slipping through your fingers at this time.
Car problems.
Okay.
I see car problems.
Yeah.
Anybody, the 5s that have cars, car trouble. I see it.
Oh God, don't tell me that. Girl, I'm about to go on a road trip. Don't be telling me that right now. Oh boy.
Sorry.
All right, well, but he did get the car checked out this weekend, so I think we're good. I think we're okay. But yeah, so yeah, that's the 5s. And then the 7s. The 7s, the 7 is always the number of faith, right? These are people who always move toward a path of faith and the things that they believe in. And they're very strong in their convictions and their beliefs. Mm-hmm. I feel for the 7s right now, and again, this is for Life Path 7 or people who are having a personal year of 7. This is going to be a time where your beliefs and your ideologies will be, really shaken to the core.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a time where the things you really had faith in, the things you really relied on with every bit of your being, you might not feel the same about that anymore.
Yeah. And then part.
Mm-hmm.
Very intuitive also with self and with others around.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's also I see that being picked up more.
Yeah. Because 7s, the 7 path itself, their purpose is to your purpose is a spiritual path, period. Even if you don't find yourself the most spiritual person or the most religious or whatever you correlate as, faith or spiritual, somehow, there is parts of your life that are strongly defined by spirituality. I find something interesting. I find that they have a natural inclination to spirituality and the natures of it. My aunt is a 7 and she's she's extremely, she doesn't practice or anything, but has a strong, understanding, like
Yeah.
underlying understanding of spirit. Like, and
Yeah.
she feels very connected to Native American culture and beliefs,
Yeah.
and I do believe that she was definitely probably Native American in a former life, and definitely like connects with that for that reason. It's very familiar to her.
Yeah.
But even like I said, even if they don't consider themselves sevens, it's still very much an important part of their life. They might have a spouse that's very spiritual. They might have children that are very spiritual. Even if they don't identify with certain aspects of the spiritual path, it's going to be there. It's going to show up in their lives. They're going to attract partners, children, friends, co-workers, even a line of work that has spiritual inclination into it. So
Right.
that's what I find very interesting about the sevens. You know what I mean? But
Very interesting.
yeah, but for you guys, I think there's going to be a real like major upheaval with the things that you believe in, with your spiritual path. For the sevens that are, deeply spiritual and deeply on this path, there may be a big hurdle for you to jump during this time. And you may have to like reevaluate where you are and what you believe in right now, like your belief systems. Okay, so that's something that I see happening with you guys. And also there may be conflict, like you said, Brenda, you picked up conflict. And I feel, and you're right about that, because it has to do with people questioning what they're picking up, questioning what they believe, questioning their connection with spirit. There's going to be opposition there. So that might be stuff that comes up for you guys during this time. But again, the whole lesson with this and with the Lionsgate for you is about trusting yourself, trusting yourself, trusting your ability, and trusting what you believe and have faith in at this time. You got to really trust yourself right now. And this is for the sevens. So yeah, I think overall, I think it's just going to be more karmic things occurring for the ones, the fives, and the sevens, just kind of hurdles and lessons that they're going to have to learn at this time, and just, jump over certain hurdles. But I think overall it's going to be a good thing for them, because this is part of their growth, their evolution.
And I'm picking up on sacrifices. Many of them out there, and this is the ones, the fives, and the sevens, are going to have to make some sacrifices in order for them to really step into their game and step into their comfort zone and step into their identity. I'm I'm seeing that most of them have been very stubborn as far as letting go of certain things, and this could be people, places, money, whatever it is, but you're not letting go of it, which is preventing you from moving forward. So you have to make those sacrifices, those changes, in order for you to move forward.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just part of the downside to identifying who you need to be and where you want to go. Um, just making sacrifices. The
Yeah.
other thing that I'm seeing is um, stability. So you guys want stability. Well, in order for you to get the stability, you need to make those changes with making that sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why you feel like you're on stable ground at this time. But it's
Right.
because you're making those changes. So
Right.
once you do, that stability is coming in, regardless how you look at it, regardless what you think, oh, is that the right way to do it? Doesn't
Mm-hmm.
matter. The sacrifice that you're making is going to make it to where you will feel stable and secure, and you will know then who you really are. So, um, that's just insight. You don't have to follow through. Everything we say here is not an obligation. You don't have to follow through. This is just spiritual advice, but that's what I'm picking up.
Yeah. Yes, guys. So, and that makes a lot of sense, because like I said, for the 1s and the 5s and the 7s, you guys are the ones that are going to struggle the most with the activation, with the Lionsgate activation, like I said, because it opposes your life path number. And any time you have an opposition, it's a challenge. So you guys are the ones, this activation for you is a challenge. Okay? This is a challenge for you guys. Like I said, for the 1s, it's about your identity. It's about your direction and where you want to take things. Okay? You're going to be challenged. You're going to be tested with that. For the 5s, it's you identifying with your extremes and your extreme behaviors at times, being impulsive. Okay? You're going to understand, the things that trigger impulsivity within you. Things are going to test you with that. Okay? For the 7s, like I said, it's going to be about your belief systems, your connection with spirit, with your intuition, and people testing you with that and challenging you with that. So that's essentially what this is about. You guys are going to be challenged. So at this point, it's going to be you basically shitting or getting off the pot, at this time. That's what this Lionsgate activation is going to do for you.
Yeah.
Like put up or shut up. You know what I'm saying? That's basically the energies. Okay, so we covered them, and then let's talk about the 3s, the 6s, and the 9s. Brenda, do you know your life path number?
I'm not sure if it's an 11 or 2.
Okay, a 2 or 11.
Because
okay.
if I break it down, it drops down to 11. But
okay,
you can still add those. And
yeah, they're both the same. Okay, so 2s and 11s, like I said, those are master numbers.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you have anybody who has a master number that's watching right now, 2, 11, 4 and 22, 3 and 33 and 6, you guys are going to be definitely activated during this time, because this is a double number 2, 8 and 8. Okay. So you're going to have a double activation. All right. For those that are master numbers. So what happens during a double activation? Okay. I'm just going to tell you right off the bat, rest, because it's going to be intense. Yeah. All right. And you were already told today, Brenda, right? You're already told today to rest. And this is for everybody that's watching. That's a master number. Again, the 11, 22, 33. You guys are having a double activation. So what happens? You get the ascension symptoms, but you're going to get it double time. So you're going to get, more headaches, more body aches, more, but on the other side of it, you're going to have more downloads, more lucid dreams, more premonitions. Your intuition and your insights are going to be at 1,000 for you guys.
It is because it's that's why I am not doing any personal readings or taking anything for right now until
relax today, guys. Everybody that's watching, y'all better be relaxing today for all the master numbers. Again, for the 11, 22, 33, y'all better be chilling today, because I'm telling you, for the next couple of weeks, it's going to be very intense, body-wise, okay, and intuitively as well. All right. So, all right. So we're going to talk about the 3s, the 6s, and the 9 life paths. Okay. So this is compatible energy. So you're comfortable with the energy. All right. And for 3s, it's going to make you want to be social, because the 3s are the most social anyway of all the numbers. Right. But you're going to feel more inclined to want to be out there, to want to connect with people. And even though there's a lot of stuff occurring right now in the world that kind of limits that, you're going to find ways to connect with people. Connection is going to be a very big focus for you during this time. 3s, you just want that connection with people. And by any means necessary, even if it's FaceTiming somebody, talking on Zoom, whatever the case may be, that's going to be a big priority for you now. If you've been struggling, trying to figure out what's missing in your life, if you've been having issues with depression at this time, the threes, it's because you need to connect. You need to connect with others and people that you feel comfortable with at this time. So that's what I'm getting very strongly. There's a lot of threes out there that are feeling very depressed, and it's because they're disconnected.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah. So the focus is about reconnection for you guys.
And it could be at your pace. It doesn't have to be at anybody's pace, because I'm sure that a lot of threes have had friends and family members wanting to like get them out of that situation, because they see the depression on them. No, it's your own pace. You have to come out of that there yourself. That's your challenge. That's your journey. You have to try to get out of that funk. But yeah, I agree with Chastity. You need to reconnect.
Yeah, because you guys have been feeling very disconnected. And I think for the threes, especially, again, because they're the social butterflies, this pandemic and this, the quarantine and everything that went down, I feel like threes were the most deeply affected by it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's fear now too, because the pandemic hasn't gotten any better.
And now the new thing with monkeypox, that's another thing people are terrified of now.
So yeah, there's a lot of uncertainties, and that's where the social butterflies, which are the threes, are so hurt and depressed, because eventually that goes into a depression. But you can still be sociable, even online.
Right, like I said, FaceTime, Zoom, yeah.
Just do that, and that will lift up your spirits, because you'll still be seeing everybody that you normally see. So, just do that. Don't hang up your shoes yet. You know what I mean? Don't give up so quickly. It's only fair to you to continue the life that you did have before COVID. So just go for it. Forget it. Yeah. I mean, go for it.
And I'm also feeling like new connections for threes too. You may just go out one day, like you probably will just, decide to just go to the beach. You know what I mean? On your own for some reason. You're like, I don't have nobody to go with. I'm gonna go on my own. And you may meet people there. And connect with them.
Yeah, and who knows? For that lonely three, that number 3 that's single, that one night stand might be the love of your life. You know.
Right.
You never know.
You took the words right out of my mouth. You beat me, because I was just gonna say that for the single threes, especially for the single threes out there, you will have a chance meeting with somebody. Like I gave an example of just going out to the beach or whatever, finding people. Brenda said one night stand. You might meet somebody and it may go down, and then you realize that one night stand might be your life partner. You know what I mean?
You want to switch places, number 3? Because my ass got
right. That's what I'm saying.
I want to boom. Wow.
Right. So, but yeah, that's definitely a big factor, again, because that's the theme, and that's the blessing that this Lionsgate activation is giving you, the opportunity to reconnect. So that's a beautiful thing. All right. So for the sixes, okay, the sixes,
lots of sex. The number 6.
The sixes, it's more of a time. I'm getting for you guys, it's about reciprocity. It's about receiving as much as you give, because the sixes are the biggest givers, right? They like to nurture, they like to give, they like to be of service, okay? So I think with you guys, but this time it's like the energy of the 8 is like, now you need to receive now as much as you give. Okay. So you guys remain open to that energy. Okay. And this, I'm preaching to the choir. I'm a life path 6, and that kind of makes a lot of sense. This activation is bringing the opportunity for you to receive now. You spend a good chunk of your life giving and giving and giving. Now you're gonna receive all of that and then some.
I see lots of sex is what I see. They're receiving.
I guess it's interesting because it could be like you're picking up the sexual energy for the 3, the 6, and the 9s. So that makes a lot of sense because, you know, with the lion, it's also very fiery. It's very passionate. You know, it's very, you know, very sexual. So, that's interesting. Okay. So I don't mind receiving. I'm okay with receiving, you know. I'm definitely okay with the receiving part of that. That's for sure. No arguments or qualms on my end. Just saying. I don't know
the catcher from at a baseball game with the glove talking about, I'm ready. Right. I'm ready.
How you doing? I'm ready. I'm here for you. Oh my God, yeah. So I'm okay with that. Like I said, I'm perfectly okay with that. So
I anybody want to switch with me?
Yay, yay me.
Anybody want to switch?
I mean, but you're having a serious activation, my dear. You're an 11. You're having a double activation, and then it's activating your relationships. So yeah. I feel that's a good thing. So hey, I think it could be just fine, my dear.
You heard me? That not relationships, relationship.
Right. That's well, you know, I'm just saying, you know, in the bracket, but relationship, right. But I feel like since you're having a double activation, just be careful you don't kill anybody. That's all I'm saying, okay? You might kill a damn person right now. You might put it on them and they may never come back from it. So
am I like the Black Widow?
I don't know. I'm just saying, you know, like
mantis, the praying mantis.
It might be something. It'll definitely be intense and out of this world, way out this world, and like 5, 6, 7, you know, 5th dimension and up. So I feel like the 2s and the 11s, y'all are just be like natural sexual alchemists. Like y'all will be performing sexual magic and not even be aware.
Yep.
Okay. Now this is a little witchy tip, right? For everybody that's watching, if you're a 2, okay, if you're having a personal year of 2, all right, or again, you're an 11, a really simple sexual magic ritual, or it's a ritual, is applying your intention during the act and releasing it at the point of climax.
Yep.
That's a very common sex magic ritual. All right. Yep. So you say what you want to intend. You're like, this is what I want. This is what I need. Whatever. Release it at climax.
Because you gotta understand, your coochie and your panene are the
they're power centers, right? They are.
That's the sacrificial right. You know, that's the sacrifice right there.
Right.
And your kukante are the
and it's one of the most powerful centers in our bodies. Mm-hmm. You know, it's the root and the sacral chakras together.
Right.
They're there, right?
Exactly.
So it's that in itself, the root and the sacral, right? Using that energy and performing that ritual, I'm telling you, it's one of the most strongest like rituals, or some will say spells, whatever you want to correlate it. I say it's a ritual, but others may define it as spells, whatever. But you get results.
It works.
Put it that way.
It works.
Like, it was funny because I had a friend of mine that he got really into sex magic, and he performed the ritual I just mentioned. And he was like, yeah, I was just saying that, money is just going to come to me or something like that, or I'm not going to, I think something to the effect of money is not going to be an issue for him, right? Like it's not going to be a worry for him, right? And that's what he did. That was his intention, and he released it, right? He told me the next day he went to work and a $20 bill flew into his foot.
Wow.
And he didn't have no money for lunch because he was supposed to bring in lunch, right? He was supposed to bring in lunch. He left it.
Oh.
He left his lunch at home, and he was like, damn, I don't got money to buy anything to eat. A $20 bill flew into his foot.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay, but people, something we got to clarify. It's not going to be that, while you're in the act, you're like, I want a brand new car, I want a brand new car, I want a brand new car, right? And the other person, brand new car, I want a brand new car. And when you get to that point, I want a brand new car. No, because you're like, what the?
Imagine.
Are you paying this for a brand new car?
And imagine you say that, and the person is looking at your partner's looking at you like, the fuck is going on here?
Exactly. No. Take that in your head, in your mind.
Of course. No, keep it in your mind.
Keep it in your mind. You're not gonna be saying it. I want a brand new car. I want a brand new car. I want a brand new car. Because he's gonna be like,
say it out loud.
Yeah, like what the like what are you?
I mean,
I'm not buying a brand new car.
unless the person knows what you're doing. Right.
Yeah.
And is okay with you shouting it from the rooftops.
Right.
That's a whole other thing entirely. That's cool.
Which is still going to be awkward for the neighbors anyway, because if they hear that, like,
I want $1 million.
Passionate.
I want to hit the Powerball.
Exactly.
Oh my God. But yes, definitely, guys, disclaimer, keep your attention up here and not to verbalize.
Yeah, don't verbalize. Keep it to yourself now. Keep it to yourself.
Yeah.
Talk at that point, because sometimes people will get confused and they'll be like, okay, so am I supposed to say it out loud, or am I supposed to? I'm one of those people. If I don't know, was I supposed to say it out loud for it to work? Or am I supposed to say
there are exceptions, like for people who have Asperger's, they have no inner monologue. So whatever they're thinking, they say out loud. Yeah. So more than likely that may occur for someone with Asperger's, but again, that's an exception.
Or you just got hit with, and you're gonna turn to the exorcism and shit, and your head's gonna be spinning while you're on there.
Right. So back to where we were. Okay, so we were talking about the sixes. Yes. Again, now let's get to the last number, the number 9. Okay, these are what I call like the self-made shamans. You guys are the 9s are about wisdom, the path of wisdom, right? For you guys, it's gonna be a time where you're going to reach a certain space in your life, and you're going to realize that that for you guys, you've reached the place you've always wanted to be, and you're in the right place at the right time, nines. And it's almost gonna be like, okay, now what? Okay, it's like, I feel for the nines, it's kind of that fear of the unknown. Like, so many amazing things have happened for you, so you're like, okay, what's coming next now? Like, what's next? Like, what's gonna happen? Like, you guys really want to know what's gonna be around the corner, because you feel like things have been so wonderful thus far. Okay, and it might be even to a point where you might fear, I don't know, like, you're like waiting for the other shoe to drop, or you might feel like, it's too good to be true sort of energy for the nines right now.
But I think I have a feeling I know why. So the minute you mentioned number 9, all I heard was boo, loser. That's exactly what I heard. So what I'm getting is a possibility of a lot of envious people around you right now. So there's jealousy. There's people that think that you brag too much.
Mm-hmm.
There's people that are just plain hateful over your success. So I'm picking up on that.
That makes a lot of sense, because one of my good friends is a 9, and that makes a lot of sense. And yeah, that makes a whole lot of sense, because like I said, you've had so many amazing things, so many blessings happen to you, that could be what is kind of like the dark cloud, the envy, and the haters, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So that may be definitely a factor in why you might have a little bit of that trickle into your head, like, maybe it is too good to be true, or or may even make you angry. It may even trigger you, the behavior of others, people hating on you, and all the wonderful things that have happened to you so far.
It's a rough patch. Like, it's just a rough patch. It's gonna breeze through. So like, the ending of this year is going to be the pivotal point for you for next year. So because this year you're learning who is really on your team.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So you are going to have those people next year in your life. And the ones that have been so negative are the ones that you open your eyes to push away, to keep out.
Right.
Because there's going to be, like I said, a pivotal point for you. You're going to be very successful next year, and you're going to need a team. Mm-hmm. And that is what's building now. So you're going to open up your eyes to see, who are going to be the people on your team for next year.
Right.
A lot of projects.
Your support system.
Right. I see a lot of projects coming, new projects, promotions, you name it. Next year is a really good year for you. Mm-hmm. For some, and it could be, I'm getting manifestation. So it could be what you've been manifesting, mm-hmm. even before the landscape. So I feel like you've been mastering and manifesting your visions and your ideas, mm-hmm. up until this point. So now you're just clearing house. Wow, you're smart 9. 9s are smart. They're literally clearing house for next year. So like, they already knew that they had to.
It's a preparation.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that's exactly it, because 9s in numerology, the stages of life, the 9 itself is about cleaning out the closet, because it's the last stage, and you're starting a new cycle with the 1. So that's exactly it. It's within the 9's nature to know when it's time to clean house, prepare, and get ready for the next stage of your life. They always have that natural instinct.
Yeah.
You're absolutely 100% right about that, because that is the vibration of the 9. Right. To prepare, clean out the closet, and start anew, to start your fresh and your brand new cycle. Okay. It's kind of like when you think of tarot, it's kind of like with the aces, right?
Yeah.
You know, like when all the tens are the last of the cycle, and then you start with
Right.
the ace again. And the aces are like the new beginnings.
Right.
Yeah. So it's kind of like that. It's tying up all the loose ends. And I feel for you guys have, like you said, Brenda, they've already been doing that, tying up the loose ends, making necessary preparations, you know, studying and doing the things that they need to do. And that's the thing, guys. And you touched on something, Brenda, and I'm so glad you did, because this is one of the most important things about the laws of attraction. Okay. This is what all the successful people who've applied The Secret, this is the part of it that they don't tell you, because honestly, it's something you have to learn on your own. You have to set the intention, right? You set your intention, but then you make the necessary steps. You live that path and you do the work as well. Things are not just going to fall on your lap, because so many times people think, you know, because they're in a space of attraction and manifestation, that, you know, okay, so, you know, I want to be a millionaire, I want to be successful, and they just sit there and they just, okay, so they think it's just going to fall on their laps, it's going to fall out of the sky. No, you have to not only, you know, set the intention, throw that out to the universe, but you also have to make sure that you're aligning yourself with the tools and the necessary things to attract that in your life.
Right.
You got to do work, people. Okay. Part of the laws of attraction is doing the work. It's not just sitting there and thinking that shit is going to fall on your lap, because that is not how it works.
Right.
Okay. So I just wanted to make that perfectly clear for everybody about the laws of attraction, because so many times people just get caught up in the beginning stages, the visualization, the intention, and all that stuff. And that's a wonderful thing. But you need to align yourself by doing the work and having the tools to make these things possible.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
So, yeah. And I think that was the one thing, like when I started, I went through a phase where I got really into laws of attraction and The Secret. Remember when The Secret came out, the book, and then they had like a documentary about The Secret, and everybody got really into it. The one thing that I found that was very cryptic or elusive about the book was that it didn't touch on the work process, the alignment process.
Right.
It just talked about the beginning stages.
Right.
Which is, of course, setting the intention, the visualization, and, you know, having a mindset of success and abundance and so on and so forth. And that's a beautiful thing, but you still got to do the work. Straight up. It's not going to fall on your lap. And I think that's the misconception that so many people had reading The Secret and watching the documentary, is that you just, okay, I'm going to set my intention, I'm going to stay positive, I'm going to think happy thoughts, and that's what's going to bring everything into my life. No, that's just part of the equation, guys. That's just part of the process. You got to do the work.
Yeah.
And I'm already talking like a Virgo, because we're almost at Virgo season. So Virgos are all about the work. So with that being said, with this Lionsgate, guys, to wrap things up, this Lionsgate, like I said, is a blessing of abundance. It's a blessing of infinite possibilities and potential. And again, like you said, Brenda, just setting your intentions and having a sense of faith and belief in that, and an understanding with your spirituality as well. So those are my closing thoughts. What you got, Bren?
I got about the same thing. Just you need to stay alert, stay awake. And I don't mean stay awake, you know, like all the new enlightenment or anything supernatural. I mean stay awake, like stay awake with your daily activities, stay awake with your fears, stay awake with your triggers, stay awake with your happiness, stay awake with your plans. Because the more you procrastinate, the more years are going to pass by. And, obviously, you're not going to finish anything out if you don't stay awake to it. Stay awake to your stuff. Stay awake to your goals in mind. Follow through. Don't worry about what anybody else has to think. Don't worry about it. Don't care.
No.
You could be 50 years old starting school, and who the hell has to care except for yourself?
Right.
Don't care about what anybody else's opinions are. Do you? So before I end this, and I'm going to tell you very quickly, most people are afraid of changes and afraid of new ideas because they're so settled and connected to what they already have.
Mm-hmm.
And that's good. It's called security, stability, right?
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes there are new things out there that are better for you than what you have now. And if you don't take the chance, if you don't take the opportunity of going for it, you don't know what you're going to be missing. So never live your life with regrets. Oh, try. If it's for you, it's for you. And if it's not, you're not going to lose on your stability that you already have, because you can't right away leave one thing that you have for another. But do take the time to at least try something new, so that for those people that are in that emotional funk can also start coming out of it. Remember, we were talking about the 3s and the 6 and the 9s and then the 1s and the 7s, and try something new. It's going to help a lot. So try something new. And I just wanted to close out now by saying that take the opportunity to manifest today your deepest desires. Not something crazy or impossible. Something real. Maybe something that you don't want to do anymore, or maybe someone that you don't want to be around anymore. Whatever it is, take the opportunity to manifest that today. The universe is open to helping us. We have to learn how to embrace it and accept it and follow through with it. So take that time.
Yeah.
That's about
because
it.
that's the importance of an activation. That's why it's called an activation, because it's a call to action. Activations occur to break you out of complacency. And that's exactly what you're talking about, Brenda. When you get too comfortable of who you are and where you are right now, you become complacent. And activations like this occur to shake things up and to bring opportunity for abundance, success, and growth in your life. But again, you gotta take the plunge.
Right.
You gotta take that leap of faith, try something new, because it could be the most amazing thing. And I think, like you said, and like we talked about earlier, having a fear of the unknown, just like with everything, but fear can also be a drive. Instead of letting it be a hindrance, let it drive you. The fear of the unknown, but at the same time, there's an excitement of not knowing things, but trusting that you will land on your feet, that you will, what's the phrase? Make it out like a lion.
Mm-hmm.
You will make it out. You will make it out like a lion. So yeah, I think that's what we have for you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. And thanks for sharing your feedback with us, your comments. If you have any questions, again, or if you want to reach out to us, our information is always down below. Again, if you want to know more about your life path number, your personal year numbers, all of that. I will put the calculators and information down there for you guys to figure that out. And you could always come back and reference what you know now with the readings that we gave tonight. So enjoy this special time, ladies and gents. And we always love to hear back from you guys. If you're new to the channel, press the like and the subscribe button and join the tribe, guys. And yeah, we'll see you next week.
Adios. Good night.
Bye.
Blessings.